What if the fairy tale was never meant to have a happy ending? What if the woman who once walked into the royal family as a symbol of modern change now has no desire at all to reconnect with the monarchy? Tonight, we dive deep into Meghan Markle's most startling position yet, and why whispers from insiders suggest she fears being sidelined if peace between Prince Harry and the royal family truly succeeds. The royal rift, more than just family drama. The British royal family has always been a spectacle of tradition, diplomacy, and strict codes of conduct. But Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, entered the palace with a fresh voice, a global platform, and a willingness to break the silence. Her marriage to Prince Harry was celebrated as a new chapter, a cultural shift within one of the most guarded institutions on earth. Yet, behind the palace walls, tensions grew. Disagreements, alleged slights, and explosive interviews tore open wounds that had been carefully hidden from public view. And while Prince Harry has occasionally expressed a willingness to find healing, Meghan's stance seems remarkably different. Sources now reveal Meghan has no interest in reconnecting with the royals. None. Not a temporary pause, not a cautious wait, simply no desire at all. Why Meghan is saying no thanks to reconnection? So why the refusal? The narrative is complicated, but insiders suggest Meghan sees reconciliation as a double-edged sword. On one hand, repairing Harry's relationship with his family could ease years of public hostility and create space for healing. On the other hand, Meghan reportedly fears that if peace talks succeed, she might be pushed further out of the picture. It's the paradox of palace politics. Reconciliation could strengthen Harry's ties to his brother William and father King Charles, but where would that leave Meghan? Would she be celebrated as the peacemaker? Or quietly erased from the royal story? A battle of visibility. In the world of royalty, visibility is power. Every balcony appearance, every official photo, every carefully worded statement, all of it contributes to the narrative of who belongs and who doesn't. Meghan has always understood this. She came from Hollywood, a place where image is everything, and entered a monarchy that thrives on symbols. But if Harry makes peace, Meghan may worry that the royal family could reframe the narrative. Harry returns, Meghan fades. And here lies the controversy. Does Meghan fear being reduced to the role of a +1 in her own marriage, after years of being painted as the outsider who disrupted the royal status quo? Meghan's strategy beyond the palace. What makes this story even more fascinating is that Meghan doesn't actually need the royal family to thrive. In America, she's building her own brand, from podcasting and media projects to speaking engagements and public appearances. She's shaping a narrative that's entirely hers, away from the rigid rules of Buckingham Palace. Some argue this independence is Meghan's greatest strength. Why cling to an institution that never fully embraced her when she has global recognition, financial security, and millions of supporters worldwide? But skeptics argue the opposite. Without some connection to the royals, Meghan risks losing the very mystique that made her unique. After all, Hollywood has countless celebrities. But how many American-born duchesses walked away from the British monarchy? The risk of peace talks. Here's where the stakes get even higher. If Harry truly reconciles with his family, the spotlight could shift dramatically. Meghan might feel like the odd one out, the woman who stood her ground only to be sidelined when the family mended fences. It's a delicate dance. If Meghan resists reconciliation, she risks being seen as the barrier between Harry and his heritage. If she embraces it, she risks losing the autonomy she has worked so hard to build. And so, according to insiders, her answer for now is simple. no desire to reconnect. Public divide. But let's be clear, public opinion is split right down the middle. Some admire Meghan's stance, seeing it as a bold refusal to compromise her dignity. To them, Meghan represents independence, resilience, and the courage to walk away from a system that demanded her silence. Others view her decision with skepticism, asking whether distance from the royals risks isolating Harry or even jeopardizing his future role in the public eye. And then there's the third perspective, those who suspect Meghan's reluctance is less about dignity and more about strategy. Could it be that Meghan fears losing influence if Harry restores his royal ties? That question lingers like a shadow over every headline. Harry caught in the middle. Of course, at the heart of this story is Prince Harry himself. The once carefree prince, the soldier, the beloved spare, now stands between two worlds. On one side, his wife Meghan, fiercely protective of her independence, wary of the palace machine and skeptical of reconciliation. On the other side, his birthright family, the king, the future king, and the institution that defines his very identity. How long can Harry balance both worlds before one pulls him in completely? What this means for the royal family's future. This isn't just gossip. The royal family, already facing questions about its modern relevance, must now navigate whether reconciliation with Harry will include, or exclude, Meghan. If Meghan truly has no desire to reconnect, then peace talks may create not harmony but a new fracture line. A royal family mended on the surface but divided in the background. So here we stand at a crossroads. Meghan Markle, the Duchess who once promised to modernize the monarchy, now chooses distance over reconciliation. She worries that peace itself could push her out. But here's the question that lingers for all of us. Is Meghan protecting her independence or protecting her influence? And if the royal family finds peace without her, will Meghan's story become one of liberation or one of erasure? The answer, as always, lies in the silent negotiations behind palace walls.